Welcome, folks. I am Jaby, Koay, joined by ACHARA, KIRK.
Hello.
The Dark Phoenix trailer literally just dropped about a minute ago. Let's check this out. Here we go.
You think you can fix me?
Jean, you are not broken. The mind is a fragile thing. Takes only the slightest tap to tip it in the wrong direction.
Charles, what did you do?
I had to keep her stable. I protected her.
From the truth? There's another word for that.
I came looking for answers.
You feel like you don't belong here. You don't. They can't begin to comprehend what you are.
She's changing.
And what?
You didn't come here looking for answers. You came here looking for permission. Jean. She's all rage, pain. It's all coming out at once. Jean lost control, but she's still our friend. This is your fault, Charles. The world is on the brink. I'm sorry I didn't stop it sooner. You're always sorry, Charles. And there's always a speech. And nobody cares. There's still hope. Don't do this.
They're right to fear me.
I've seen evil. And I'm looking at it now.
Cool. I'm excited. February 14th! Perfect Valentine's Day movie! Oh my god.
All right.
Yeah, no, I love
That's the exciting part.
that. No, okay, yeah. I mean, I just think it's a nice coincidence.
What I like about this so far is that it doesn't feel like it's trying to top any of the previous X-Men movies in terms of explosions and,
Yeah.
what do you call it, production value. It's just trying to tell the best story possible from what it looks like so far. And I always appreciate that. Studios have been in the habit of like trying to make every single movie so much more elaborate and so much bigger than the last one and just make it more explosions and cities falling. Whereas this is like, well, one of the characters that has long been part of the team is now in peril from herself, basically.
Exactly, and that's such a relatable story because how many times do you literally have to fight yourself, like fight your negative urges, right?
So for me, growing up, watching the X-Men cartoon show, like the Phoenix, emerging, rising was a huge ordeal. It was like a 2-part miniseries, and I remember that. And so seeing it come to life on the big screen is really cool. Like for me, this is like 20 years plus in the making.
Yeah.
And for people who've been reading the comics, even longer.
I think it's interesting that they decided to do it with the younger cast. I know they kind of alluded to it in X2, and obviously Jean Grey was much older then.
Yeah.
And then now it's coming out here when she's younger, because I thought it happened because of something that happened to her in space, like she was exposed to some rays or whatever.
They might explore that here in the movie. You're right, X2 did explore that, as well as X3. You know what? It's so funny you say that, because it completely wrote off X3 from my brain.
I barely remember it, to be honest.
I watched that movie and I was like, this is so horrible, and I just completely omitted it from my memory as fast as possible. I forgot that they even explored it in that movie.
You're right, yeah, they did.
So this looks like it's more refined, more finesse, it's more careful in how it's approaching this storyline, so I'm happy about that. We got some space stuff right here, freeze frame at 124. If you go and, well, I was gonna say pixel peep, but if you go frame peeping, you'll find, Easter eggs and whatnot, and things that indicate what's going on.
I'm happy, actually, that they're doing this cast, because I think James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender are awesome, and they're awesome together. And X-Men First Class, I think, is my favorite X-Men movie.
I would say that's the same for a lot of
Yeah.
people. I think with either cast, it would have been interesting, but the thing is they already explored the storyline with the previous
Yeah.
cast, and so I think it's better to kind of just go put that aside. Even though Jean Grey from the previous cast was awesome, I liked her. I think it's better to just put that aside and focus on the new cast and let that almost just like a reboot, basically.
Exactly.
I mean, we've been with these people for a while now in several installments, so let's just stick with this. So far, this is looking. Just this trailer alone looks a lot better than Apocalypse. So
Yeah.
I know that Red Letter Media loved Apocalypse because it's schlock, as they called it. I personally was very offended by it. For Magneto to have anything to say to Xavier is appalling to me because he's like, you're always sorry, and then you just you get speeches. It's like, bitch, you killed so many people. Don't even start, man. And I liked Sansa Stark.
Yeah, okay, this is the thing, right? As soon as she spoke in an American accent, my brain just went, because I was like, oh, no, but you're Sansa. No, you're not. Okay, I need to get over that. Like, she's Jean Grey. It's just like, she's so iconic from Game of Thrones that it takes a minute for your brain to just be like, oh, wait, she's an actor.
I'm a big fan of Michael Fassbender. I don't think I've said that on this channel before. I like what he brings, just his performance. Ever since Inglourious Bastards, like he just has a presence about him that's very interesting and unique. Seeing him back in anything is cool.
It's super cool. He just brings so much emotional depth
And weight.
to Magneto as well.
He commits. Even in Apocalypse, he committed. Like
You gotta do what you gotta do.
he had that badass moment with the necklace where he killed all those soldiers in the forest after his family was murdered. There was a moment here with Quicksilver.
Yeah,
Always
I'm
glad to see him
excited.
back. Oh, I hope he has more than a scene. Like the fact that he's showing up in the trailer hopefully indicates that he's there for more than 3 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Because he was everyone's favorite part of, was it First Class? Whichever one it was, the time stranding or whatever it's called.
The
Days of Future
Days
Past.
of Future Past. Yeah. The scene where he's running around the kitchen was just amazing.
Well, both that and the mansion explosion are very iconic scenes in my opinion. Like they were both well put together. The best parts of of both of those movies, arguably. So if he just has one scene, fine, but you gotta make it more amazing than the previous one.
It's got to be epic. And they can't show it in the trailer because obviously you gotta save it for the movie because it's gonna be kick-ass.
Right. Well, what's also cool about this, and I said this about the Fantastic Beasts trailer, is that they showed you a lot, but you can't quite place everything that's happening in the film, with the exception of the little girl stuff. Like, you obviously know that that's at the beginning of the movie, before it jumped into the second act, but outside of that, it's kind of hard to place where everything is, and I like that. There's a lot of mystery left, and that leaves a lot left to explore when you actually watch the movie, because there's nothing worse than a trailer just giving the whole thing away, giving the best scenes away, like you said, reserving that moment with Quicksilver for the actual movie.
There better be a moment with Quicksilver. I'm going to cry if there is no moment with Quicksilver.
Yeah.
You came here looking for permission.
We're gonna have a showdown between the X-Men and Dark Phoenix.
It's gonna be an epic battle because she's incredibly powerful.
Yeah, the whole team against her. And the cops. That's gonna be an emotional journey, to say the least.
And I think that's kind of what I'm getting from this trailer as well, right? Because you've got the epicness of the comic book story, but there's a lot of underlying emotion, like the guilt that Xavier feels that he's not doing enough. I imagine there's going to be a lot of stuff with Jean Grey where she's struggling with, I want to be good, I need to control my powers, but there's this part of her that's just like, be true to yourself and just let it go.
Right. Yeah, well, one of the things that I think X-Men was famous for, because of Stan Lee, if I'm not mistaken, is all the themes that were woven into X-Men that deal with things that we experience in our own reality,
That's what makes it so great.
Yeah. So, I mean, the most famous one, in my opinion, was racism and how X-Men was kind of tackling that issue with mutants. So I'm very curious to see what they're going to explore in this film.
Yeah.
Other than the idea that sometimes you gotta beat your friend up because they're turning into a big flaming bird. So, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Please be sure to check out ACHARA KIRK on the social media. Subscribe if you have not already. Check out our other reactions, reviews, and short films. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Be honest, be verbose. Are you excited or are you disappointed? Let us know. I'm Jaby Koay. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.